Welcome back to Real Family Secrets. Grab your snacks, get comfortable. The people in these stories had every chance to behave themselves. They just chose wrong. Drop a comment and be sure to subscribe. You're going to love it here. My name is Derek Ashford, and 6 weeks ago I discovered my wife was having an emotional affair with a colleague named Trent Michaels. Instead of confronting her right away, I found his wife on Instagram and sent her every screenshot I had. What happened next was something neither of them saw coming. Jennifer and I had been married 6 years when I first noticed the shift. Her phone stayed face down more often. Her laugh, on calls I could hear from the next room, had a lightness I recognized from our own early dating years, the kind you don't usually hear directed at a coworker. I didn't confront her immediately. I've never been someone who accuses first and asks questions later. I wanted proof, not a feeling. It took 3 weeks of quiet attention before I found what I needed. Her laptop, left open one evening while she showered, still logged into a messaging app she rarely used for work. Message after message, with a name saved simply as T. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. You make every day better. What would I do without you? Her words, sent to a man named Trent Michaels, a senior account manager at her firm, married, according to a quick search, for 11 years to a woman named Rachel. I didn't scream. I didn't confront her that night. I photographed every message carefully, methodically, the way you'd document evidence for something far more serious than what it technically was. I sat with that folder of screenshots for 4 days before deciding exactly what I wanted to do with it. I found Rachel Michaels on Instagram easily enough. A public profile, family photos, a golden retriever, a life that looked, from the outside, entirely unaware of what her husband had been building in private conversations for months. I created a separate email account. No name, no identifying information. I attached every screenshot, every timestamp, every message that made the nature of the relationship unmistakable, and I sent it with a single line. I think you should see what your husband has been writing to a married coworker. I'm sorry you're finding out this way. I didn't tell Jennifer anything. I simply waited and continued living exactly as I had. Dinner, conversation, the ordinary rhythms of a marriage that, on the surface, looked completely intact. 2 days later, Jennifer's demeanor shifted. She was quieter at dinner, checking her phone more anxiously than usual, the specific nervous energy of someone who senses something has gone wrong but doesn't yet know what. On the 3rd day, I sent her a single text while she was, coincidentally, at a coffee shop with Trent. Information I'd learned from tracking her calendar, which she'd never bothered to make private from a shared family account we still used for scheduling. Ask him if his wife liked the screenshots, I wrote. I later learned, secondhand, exactly how that afternoon unfolded, because Rachel Michaels herself eventually reached out to me, having tracked down my identity through the email metadata weeks later. She told me the whole scene practically moment by moment. Jennifer had received my text and gone pale immediately, staring at her phone like it had just detonated in her hand. Moments later, Rachel walked into that same coffee shop, having received my anonymous email 2 days earlier, and spent that entire time quietly gathering the courage to confront her husband in person, at the exact place his messages suggested he frequently met T. You must be the wife of the man who sent me those very interesting screenshots, Rachel said, standing over their table. I think there's been a misunderstanding, Jennifer started. Trent and I are just— Don't, Rachel interrupted. Don't insult my intelligence by finishing that sentence. Other customers had started noticing by then. Trent reached for Jennifer's arm, urging her to leave, to talk at home, worried openly about the scene they were creating. A scene, Rachel said. You're worried about a scene? I've spent 3 days looking at messages between you two. Those were his words. Your words, Trent. To her. Jennifer's phone began buzzing insistently in her bag. She glanced at it, and her face went pale. I have to go, she mumbled. Does he know you're here? Rachel asked. Your husband. Jennifer froze completely. He's the one who told me where to find you, Rachel continued. He's the one who's been documenting everything. And from the look on your face, I'm guessing he's just sent a message explaining exactly what's waiting for you at home. This isn't what it looks like, Jennifer tried, her voice barely audible. Then explain it to me, Rachel said. Explain why my husband has been texting you at midnight. Explain the inside jokes. Trent finally spoke. Nothing physical has happened. We've never... Never what? Rachel's voice rose. Never kissed. Do you think that makes this okay? Emotional affairs are still affairs. You gave her parts of yourself that belonged to me. Jennifer was crying by then, according to what Rachel told me later, clutching her phone, whispering that she needed to go home, that she needed to fix things. There's nothing to fix, Rachel told her. Your husband knows, just like I know. Whatever you had before this moment, it's over. You both made sure of that. Jennifer's phone rang. She answered with shaking hands. I'm coming home now, she said. A pause. What do you mean empty? What papers? Her voice broke. No. Please don't do this. But oh, Manamoy. Rachel turned back to Trent one final time. I'm staying at my sister's, she said. Don't call me. Don't text me. My lawyer will be in touch. She pulled off her wedding ring and set it on the table between them. 6 years of marriage reduced to a small circle of gold on laminate. She walked out, leaving both of them behind in the quiet wreckage of a coffee shop that had, moments earlier, just been an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. I received a text from Rachel that same evening, the number I'd used to send the original email, which she'd apparently saved despite my anonymity. Are you okay? She wrote. I will be, I replied. Thank you for caring enough to tell me the truth. How are you holding up? I asked. Surprisingly well, she wrote back. Sometimes knowing is better than wondering. Jennifer and I separated within the month. There was no dramatic confrontation between us. By the time she came home that day, the truth had already done all the work I needed it to do. Rachel and I never met in person, oddly enough. We exchanged a handful of messages over the following weeks, two strangers who'd never spoken before, bound together by the same betrayal delivered from two different directions. I think about that decision sometimes, whether sending those screenshots anonymously was fair, whether I should have simply confronted Jennifer directly and let the affair unravel privately. I've decided I don't regret it. Some truths deserve to surface in the exact place they were built. If this story moved you, subscribe for more real family stories and tell us in the comments, was sending those screenshots the right call or too far?
Saw you stepping in, all eyes turning, heartbeat skips to your rhythm, yeah. Daylight sliding through the window, your laughter sets the speakers off. Coffee cooling on the table, we're tangled in playlists and plans. Your energy contagious, pushes worries out the door. This moment light and ordinary turns magic when you say my name. Can't fake this feeling, your spark pulls me up. Wanna run with you, never slow down. Every move is a message, every glance says now. Oh, let's catch the ride while the city's wide awake. Jump into rhythms only we can make. Turn up the track, reminders fade. We're living loud, don't need to escape. We're living loud, don't need to escape. Oh, texts and quick calls, you're the reason I show up. Weekend plans, sneakers hit the pavement. We run fast, loving the rush. Even ranges motivation, splashes drumming on the ground. In every crowd, you're my invitation. Every laugh another round. Walls disappear, the beats underneath our skin. With you, every day's a headline. We write the rules, we play my favorite win. Let's get you around while the city's wide awake. Let's spin the rhythms only we can make. Turn out the track, reminders fade. We're living loud, don't need to escape. We're living loud, don't need to escape. story keeps spinning on repeat.